Hello you amazing people, welcome back to RXMemes. Today we are jumping into the subreddit r/prorevenge, so yay. If you like today's video, I would love for you to subscribe and hit that thumbs up button so that I know that you like prorevenge. If you want to touch base with me outside of YouTube, I also have a Twitter, a Snapchat, and now an Instagram, and I have 1 follower, so yay me. And I always love to interact with you, so those are the easiest to reach me. Twitter is probably the fastest. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. Cheat on my mother, get thrown out, divorced, and lose everything. Posted by user/Joseph McCarthy 1955. This is a short but sweet pro-revenge story that is not really mine, but rather my mom's. She is the absolute evil mastermind behind this. I am not sure if it belongs here or r/petty revenge, so let me know if it fits better there. This story takes place relatively recently. My mother and biological father were married, but then divorced when I was in 3rd grade. He is a great guy and is not the subject of the revenge. Then, about 5 years ago, my mother and stepfather started dating and later got married. He seemed like a genuinely good guy, and he was for a while. However, about 2 months ago, my mother discovered that stepdad was cheating on her. This obviously devastated her, and she was a different person for a bit. After she got over the revelation, she spent the next month preparing the revenge, waiting for the perfect time to strike at stepdad. Note, my mother and stepdad founded a business together, and she managed to make it so that she owned 90% of the business. Said something about how it wouldn't matter if they were together. The revenge. After a month of planning, my mother decided it time to strike. She had been talking with lawyers and preparing everything, and now it was the time to strike. My mother told stepdad she knew what he was doing and almost immediately filed a divorce and kicked him out. This wasn't it, however. She moved all the money that was hers, that was in shared accounts, and they had it moved to other accounts. She then closed the credit cards that stepdad had access to, leaving him little money and no credit cards. That's not all. She then assumed her position as the majority owner of the business, leaving stepdad 10% of the profit, a substantial decrease from their shared income. Lastly, she let it slip to stepdad's 3 children that their father was a cheater. Now, none of his kids have any respect for him. Ooh! I have no time for cheaters, so good on her. And I would say that this is pro-revenge. What do you guys think? I want the one in the picture, damn it. Posted by user/mypostingname13. Cross-post from r/choosing beggars. I was told you lot would enjoy this one too. It's long but satisfying. I was talking with another sales dad the other day at a scout cookout, swapping toughest customer stories when this guy came up. Since it has a satisfying ending, I thought y'all might enjoy it. It's probably going to be fairly lengthy, no TLDR, read it or don't. This happened about 5 years ago when I was selling cars on a Saturday just before lunch. The dealership catered lunch on Saturday, but I didn't get to eat it. I sold a car to my first customer of the day, which any car guy will tell you, if you can get one out before 11 on a Saturday, you should almost be mad if you don't get a hat trick. 3 sold in a day, typically hat tricks pay out an extra bonus. At my store, it was $150. I'd already gotten some free money in the morning meeting for a couple perfect surveys, and my sale was the first one of the day for the store, which happened to be a spiff that day. So I'm riding high, having already put $500 in my pocket before noon, with a real shot at doubling it before they turned out the lights. It's gonna be a good day, I thought. I'd just finished stocking in my first trade and collecting my first sale spiff when the receptionist comes to my desk. Hey, my posting name, you're really good with weird, angry, and weirdly angry customers, yeah? Wonderful. Yeah, I guess that's me. What have we got? That couple over there? That looks like it's taking too long for the guy at Jimmy John's to make their sandwiches. I sigh, put on my sunny customer service face, and greet the couple. They're older, but not old, probably mid-50s. They're aloof and condescending as I bring them to an empty desk. My desk was on used side and offered coffee. They scoff and decline until they see a big, fancy cappuccino machine. The wife looks at me expectantly as I sit down, inviting her to help herself, reassuring her that it's a very intuitive machine with several options, but I'll be happy to help if she has any problems. Hubby, CB1 for dialogue, hands me a folder. Inside is a printout from our website. "I'd like to purchase this truck, please, at the advertised price," he says. I say, "Excellent. Before we discuss rebates, let me double check that we still have the vehicle in stock. It'll only take a minute."
You don't know your own inventory? This is very unprofessional. Hey honey, he says he probably doesn't have it in stock. Looks like we might have come all the way down here for nothing.
This would never happen at Volvo. This is gonna be fun. I mindlessly apologize, explain that we have 18 salespeople and over 650 cars on the lot at any given time. We sell 250 a month, so inventory management is literally a full-time job as I check the key track, see the key as checked in, and politely excuse myself to pull the truck around. In retrospect, I wish I would have paid more attention to the listing as it would have saved some pain, but I just pulled the stock number, verified availability, and pulled it around. All right, let's take a look. They follow me outside and I start my walk around.
This is the wrong truck.
This is the wrong truck. I told you you were asking for trouble trying to buy domestic.
I told you, honey, a damn Volvo won't pull the camper. This is what we need.
What do you mean? This is the truck from the listing you gave me.
Christ, no, it's not. The listing I gave you was for a white, long bed King Ranch. This is a silver XLT. I get that reading is hard. You'd think even a domestic car salesman would know his colors.
First of all, there's no such thing as a 30K King Ranch, and you clearly know that. Second, I don't appreciate being insulted. Clearly there's been a mistake. Let's go back inside and figure it out.
You have to honor your advertised price. It's the law. My wife is a lawyer.
I'm a lawyer and will eat you alive. Look, there's no need to get hostile. I don't get paid unless you buy, so it's in my best interest to work this out. I assume our web developer made a mistake with the pictures, but let me investigate and we'll go from there. As I suspected, every word of text on the listing pointed to an XLT, as did the window sticker link. The web guy mixed up the picture. I found the pictured truck, which had a sticker more than $20,000 higher, with fewer rebates. I printed both stickers and the fine print disclaimer at the bottom of every listing and spent 20+ minutes explaining, trying to talk sense, and fielding a myriad of threats and insults. Things have gotten nasty and I was ready to fire them. But when I went to grab the stickers, the last thing I heard from the desk was, "Don't you dare cut these loose. Sell them a truck." I take it straight to the GM at this point, who comes out, takes one look at these people, decides it's not worth it, and personally delivers a pencil showing a real money $6,000 loss with the invoice to back it up. We're still like $17,000 apart, and they're holding ground, still threatening litigation despite knowing that they have no leg to stand on, and knowing that they were already stealing the truck they wanted at the offered price. Our store was part of the third largest group in the world at the time, so we had lawyers too. We happened to have the exact truck that they were trying to buy on the used lot, one model year older, 21,000 miles-ish, CPO, listed at $36,999. I flipped them to that one, and we moved to the used side. I show them the truck, and hubby is failing miserably at holding his excitement by the end of the test drive. My GM had told me to call him before I presented a pencil, so I did. To my chagrin, he cut the nuts off it and had me present $32,999, about $1K north of a rough trade via NADA, and $2.5K south of the next cheapest similar truck within 300 miles. Plus, it was certified, which adds about $2K of value in warranty. They're still fixated on $30K. And here we pick up the conversation.
I don't care what the market says. I want to know what you paid for it, then we'll negotiate an offset from there.
No, that's not something you get to know. You don't demand to know costs on anything else you buy. You could literally go to CarMax tomorrow and turn a small profit at our price. Even if you weren't stealing this truck, and you absolutely are, my time isn't free. We don't give a about you. We want a great price and we're not there yet. Do better. You absolutely are at a great price, and given the abuse I've endured, you're out of your mind if you think I'm going to budge 1 cent off my price. I have a baby at home. I know this next comment is going to sound embellished, but I swear to Jeebus it's verbatim.
I couldn't care less if your baby lives or dies. Take 1,000 off of
me, holding back rage. We're done here.
What?
You heard me. We're done. Get the out of my office now.
No, I'm buying a truck.
No, you're not. I've been patient as and you crossed the line. Get the out right now before I lose my shit. Typical. Now. They stood up, and I half shoved them out of my regular office and out of the building. I immediately got lit up by the desk managers, and I let them speak their piece. Then I told them what was said, and suddenly we were a united front. I was shaking, I was so angry. So I was given a shot of desk whiskey and told to remain in the tower until the whiskey worked and I'd calmed down. I was hot, so it took a good while. I was still there when CB1 called about 20 minutes later to bitch about how he was treated, and he caught an earful from my manager. He still wanted the truck, and my manager still wanted to sell it. So he put the guy on hold and asked me, "I've got to sell the truck. What do you want me to do? I'll do the paperwork if you want, but you're still gonna have to deliver." "Nah, that's alright. Just tell him his price expired when he got himself tossed, and there will be no negotiations when he comes back. If he wants the truck, he'll pay what we ask. Don't tell him the price and mark it up $2,500. He laughed, nodded, and set it up. I got the deal jacket ready, brushed off his feigned apology, and made him fill out the credit app in silence before I showed him the buyer's order. "This is way higher than it was before." "Yes, sir, it is. Sign here." "Why?" "Tax. Sign or go home." He glared at me. I stared into his eyes, and I didn't say a word for a good 30 seconds. Then he picked up the pen and signed. I remained cold but professional through delivery and managed to treat him like any other customer I didn't particularly like with my sold follow-up. He remained every time I spoke with him, but he ended up inadvertently being my biggest source of referrals. Evidently, he told everyone he knew about me charging him tax. And he was such a notorious that it made his circle want to buy from me. Over the next year, I sold 7 cars to people he knew. If anyone is interested, I did make my hat trick that day, but it didn't come until shortly after close. Wow. Incredible. Oh, that guy, what a dick. What would your reaction be? I've said this in previous videos, but I've worked retail and so many people don't have any manners. It's ridiculous. And this guy and his wife, oh my gosh, entitled. Amazing turnaround for being a nice person, posted by a deleted user. So to start off, I don't want to make this post of me being an complaining, but this felt like a betrayal for me, and my revenge was pretty sweet. To start off, I was in an almost 2-year relationship at that moment, my first relationship, and everything seemed to be fine. My girlfriend, let's call her entitled, was an awesome human being and really supportive as I was doing my best to be the same. I was the person that introduced her to video games and an online MMO in particular. As we were both studying in a similar field, it was not uncommon to help each other with assignments. That included anything from helping finish papers to doing statistical analysis on different programs. But that suddenly changed as she started to spend more time in the MMO and talking to people there than with me. EB started to completely forget about her assignments and push them onto me when the deadline was too close and she couldn't complete the task. As I was, and still a bit am, naive, I always thought I am doing the best thing for the relationship. This continued for quite some time, about 3 months, and we got to the point where both our thesis had to be submitted, and lo and behold, her work was 20 pages short with 3 days to go. I decided to help, but I couldn't understand why she, while I was writing her paper, was sitting in the other room and chatting loudly with people. The same evening, I had enough. I'm not the person to go out and be angry at others, but this had my blood boiling. So I confronted her, but EB just started crying and told me to help her. As I didn't know what to do, I went back and did everything I could and left her with 5 pages to write in one day. Easy enough task. EB got furious and called me out and told me that her friend insert a country that is not far from ours told this would happen, as I am ungrateful that I have such an amazing girlfriend. I was in shock and decided that it is my time to pack my bags. That same evening, I packed up and left to my brother's house. We are really close after my dad died and stayed there. Some time went on, and I was contacted by our mutual friend in the MMO that stated EB has been talking about me in public TeamSpeak and telling that she never liked me and used me for school stuff anyways. I was furious, really furious. I have no problem with people quitting on relationships, but using another person is beyond me. Revenge. I decided to investigate the EB relationship with her friend from another country, and I saw what I needed to see. I had her MMO account still on me, so I needed to check some private messages between those two. They were calling themselves very sexual terms not long after she was introduced by me into MMO. At the time when we were still going strong. So I crafted a plan. Next day, I went to my university and filled in a report on her about failing an academic code and using my papers, without any references in her thesis. Well, as I was familiar with the theme of her paper, I did use some of my older work to fill up pages, and here we go. About a week passes and I read that our whole class's chat is lit up by her screaming at people for putting her on the spot, calling everyone an idiot, and even more degrading terms. EB lost her degree. She was a paying student as her grades were not good enough for tuition. I was happy and relieved. Now, almost a year has passed, and she is still seeing that guy and is trying to get another degree in a different university, as this, the best university in our country, refused to take her. I am getting my master's currently, living an amazing life, and EB is going for her BA and still has 3 years to go. Life is amazing, isn't it? It is not a long story, but I hope you all will have a great day. Alright everybody, that's it for today's video. I hope that you liked it. If you made it this far, thank you so much. You are my favorite person. And if you liked today's video, once again, I would love for you to subscribe and touch base with me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. They are all linked in the description bar and somewhere on the screen right now. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.